New Sprint Right Option podcast. The schedule is out. Who do the 49ers play week 1? How many nationally televised games do they have? And does the NFL think 49er fans hate their family? Jason, play our music.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Right Option podcast. Oh, man, we are back. It's a new episode of the Sprint Right Option podcast. I am Andrew Pasquini, joined as always by Jason Aponte. We were scheduled to be here for the schedule release of the NFL schedule, Jason, and I'm sure that nobody knows what the NFL schedule is at this moment, even though everybody's known what the schedule is for majority of the day because of leaks. But Jason, before we dive into the schedule, how are you doing on this Thursday afternoon?
Yeah, it's a little weird, right? Usually we do Fridays, but it's Friday somewhere. That's the way that I've been able to rationalize it. Thank you, Paul. I wanted to start this show off, because it's been a while.
Yes.
I wanted to start this show off with a little something that's up your alley.
Okay.
There's a moment that has lived rent-free in my mind for about a week or so, and it's so good that I continue to go back and watch it over and over again.
Yes.
And that is Bad Bunny's entrance at Backlash.
Oof.
I want to tell you that moment is so hard. That was so amazing. I don't know if I've ever been as hype for anybody ever coming out anywhere. And to have that happen in Puerto Rico that way, I also want to say Chambea is a bop. He picked an amazing song. That song actually has Ric Flair in the video and on the song. I couldn't believe it, man. It's electric. I watched the entrance over and over and over.
I was going to save this for the end of the show, so I'm very excited that you're choosing to open our football show about wrestling.
Well, we gotta let people get in. Let people get in,
Saturday.
right? Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the Sprint Right Option wherever you get all your audio podcasts.
Exactly. Saturday was everything that's perfect about wrestling. The crowd was hot. The crowd was unbelievable. The Bad Bunny entrance, I apologize. I'm super white. Didn't know what Chambea was. Song's a banger. I apologize. I love Bad Bunny. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a wrestling match than that one. There's something about Bad Bunny, because if you don't know who Bad Bunny is, right, and if you do, I was late to the party too. I didn't really understand who he was until he started doing this wrestling thing. Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist in the world, and just picture if in Brooklyn Beyonce had a street fight against Trish Stratus or whoever.
Beyonce's from Houston, so Houston.
Whatever,
right?
Man. I don't know why I picked
Jay-Z. Let's say Jay-Z fought the Big Show in Brooklyn.
It's just I can't stress to you how important it is to wrestling that Bad Bunny even wants to wrestle, but then for him to do what he did and just how insane he is at the art of professional wrestling, because that entrance, I've watched it every day since too, because there's something about, because wrestling is the secret about professional wrestling is it's as good as the crowd makes it to be. That crowd was on fire the whole night. They were loud. It
was like a concert.
Yeah, dude, just to have the entire crowd singing his entrance song. I don't know. I found some crowd angle shots of his entrance. You couldn't even hear the song playing over the speakers, over the crowd singing the song. It was electric. Professional wrestling, when it's done right, is the best thing in the world. I'm going to continue to pound my chest on that. But Saturday night, the whole show was very good. The Io Sky versus Bianca Belair, that crowd was hot. But if you want to know just how fun professional wrestling is, using a Jason Aponte award, implore you to go watch Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a street fight, because that was from start to finish. Watch the little video where they say, hey, this is why they're fighting, all the way to the end of the match, because, I still get goosebumps thinking about that match. That's how big of a wrestling fan I am.
And as a fellow Boricua, to watch two Puerto Rican men fight in Puerto Rico, it almost brings a tear to your eye. That's all I wanted to bring up. They're not here to hear about that, though. let's talk about 49ers football, by the way.
Good. You pivoted at the perfect time because I was about to yell why that should have been the main event of the show. And that's a later cover. That's down the road. So hello, everybody. This is a 49ers podcast. We're here to talk San Francisco 49ers. The schedule has officially been released. I believe it's 5 nationally televised games. It's opening against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, we know a guy who talks to Steelers who we might be able to have on the podcast and talk about that game.
Well,
possibly.
Hold on, Andrew. You talked about leaks and things earlier. I woke up early this morning and started working the phones. And I sent a text to our group chat. And what did I tell you? Early in the morning.
Oh, I know.
Week 1. Steelers, it's done deal. And that was at my time, 7:45 a.m. Eastern. And I said, home opener, New York Giants, Thursday Night Football at the same time. So I didn't want to put it on Twitter because people are just always going to be like, oh, source, or, you know, what do you know? Who do
I
you
would
know?
do that.
Hey, but look, the people who I feel know should know. And if you're in my fantasy football group chat also, if you're in our league as well, you knew. So, let's put some respect on these podcasters. We're starting to get out here. And shout out to Vishal too, man. I saw Jason's interview with our new safety, Jair Brown. Good stuff, man. Keep doing big things. Yeah, we got to hustle a little bit more and stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. That's all I want to say. Stop playing with us. Don't act like we don't know anybody. Don't act like we can't talk to people. We are
Jason,
working on it.
You live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in any of that.
No, but I couldn't possibly know anything about this team that I cover from over here, right? Because whatever, but yeah.
So, 49ers schedule. Here we go. I'm just gonna. I don't know how I feel like
say it, and I'll say W or L. Go.
Okay, here we go. Like here in order. Week 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe this is an away game. I'm looking at the schedule.
It is.
Niners are opening on the road in Pittsburgh. The week 2, the Niners head to Los Angeles to face the Rams. Week 3, Thursday night football against the Giants. Week 4, and that's the home opener, Thursday night home opener. I'm sure a certain Aponte might be out here.
I'm going.
I'm out there for the home opener.
I'm out there. Home opener. I'm out there for that. And New York Giants, like all of my friends that are here, all I was doing was calling them like, yo, are you in? Are you out? Like, are you coming like for this? Because and then it lines up perfectly because we can get into Cali on Tuesday and then we can leave on Friday and that's it. So keep going. My bad.
Oh no, you're good. Interject wherever you need to because I'm just listing names at this point, Jason. Week 4, not home opener, another home game against the Cardinals. That's the open October. Then Sunday night football, week 5, a game that was announced, I believe, last night. Niners home once again against the Dallas Cowboys. Sunday night, a rematch of the divisional round. I'm sure Ezekiel Elliott won't play center. Maybe he'll be on the Niners. I don't know. Let's just throw that one out there just to be fun. They turn around and go to Cleveland, one of the best cities in the United States of America, in week 6. Monday Night Football week 7 against the Minnesota Vikings. And who knows, that could be Kirk Cousins' homecoming. I'm just throwing everything out there, Jason.
What did Javi say? Kirk Cousins trade deadline move to get him.
Exactly. Right before you could trade him at halftime, have him walk across the hallway, all that right before. Like Doug Minkavich of the Minnesota Twins. That's a good throwback.
Good one.
Week 8, they come back home to face Baby Arm Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Love you, Rich Madrid. On October 29th. Bye week 9 before they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We had a whole conversation about that, how to pronounce that. The last time those two teams met down in Jacksonville. Niners play the Buccaneers the following week, but instead of staying in Florida, they're actually playing in Santa Clara. So the Niners take a bye week, go to Florida, come back to play another Florida team. No Tom Brady, or will there be Tom Brady maybe on the Niners? Who knows? I'm just throwing everybody on the Niners at this point. Thursday night football, Thanksgiving. Another way to say that day would be Andrew Pasquini's birthday, November 23rd, up in Seattle before the Niners head across the country to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in December. Maybe Brock Purdy will be available for that one. We'll find out. Niners, 2 games in 3 weeks against the Seattle Seahawks, week 14 at home. Excuse me, I'm burping. Against the Seattle Seahawks on December 10th. It's really hard to go through this schedule. There's a lot of games they play. Just throwing that out there. Week 15 on the road in Arizona, week 16, Christmas Day. You heard me right, Christmas, or I guess Christmas night. Christmas night, so Thanksgiving and Christmas night. Assuming Niner fans don't have family or anything like that. Monday Night Football, it is. That is a Christmas night game. Axel, thank you for the comment.
Oh man!
Week 17.
No, wait. At the end of this, circle back.
We'll circle back. Week 17.
Someone remind me to tell this one. Go.
Week 17, the Niners go to Washington. I feel like the Niners always play Washington at the end of the season. Week 18, they close their season against the Los Angeles Rams at home. We don't know what time that is, what date that is. Could be a Saturday, could be a Sunday. We'll find out. Jason, I just entertained all the audio listeners by just listing all 17 of the 49ers games. What's the things that stand out to you just really quick before we really look into the order specific of the opponents?
Well, firstly, like you mentioned in the beginning, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
So I think we have to have a discussion about cultures. Thanksgiving is tough for a Puerto Rican male who the rest of my family is Dominican, and my family will be, our blended family together. Imagine having to tell them, I don't think I can partake in Thanksgiving this year because I have to work and watch football. Christmas Day is a recovery day for Latinos. Like, Noche Buena is the day before. That's what matters. Like, that's not, that Christmas Day is just like we're kind of just eating whatever leftovers and we're kind of just recovering. And then New Year's Eve, man, at least the game's at 1:00. So I can get everything done by a certain time and then go, put on a suit jacket to go sit in the sala at somebody else's house. But that's the first thing that jumps out. No. Serious football analysis. The three games that I'm looking the most forward to, obviously, Philadelphia Eagles. And I do love what Terra Dome says. It is a mini bye coming off of the Thanksgiving game because you do have about, I think it's like nine days in between. And Jumbo Jack said, can I get a bacon, egg, and cheese? Your man Sour Death Sam was up here and had his first bacon, egg, and cheese in Brooklyn. And he had no idea that the next question after you say bacon, egg, and cheese, and anybody who's been up here knows salt, pepper, ketchup. Is that what you want on this as well, too? So I just wanted to make sure we throw that on there and shout out to him. Maybe he was up here for his birthday. But, for the Eagles, the Cowboys, obviously, that game is going to be electric. That's prime time. And then the third game I'm so interested to see is the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals have been to 2 straight AFC Championship games. They've been in 1 Super Bowl. I guess this is another good litmus test for the 49ers. In terms of the division, it is what it is. The Rams stink. Arizona's bad. Seattle, they're still better, but we have a chance to exact some Thanksgiving. If the 49ers do not, after they beat the Seattle Seahawks, do not sit in the middle of their stadium and eat the biggest turkey leg in the world. And you know who you should let eat it? Jake Moody. Jake Moody. Let Jake Moody eat the turkey leg in the middle of the stadium. Let Jake Moody do it. If we get that, this whole season's a loss. I have to get revenge for this. I will never forget where I was that Thanksgiving when the 49ers lost to, and Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson's stupid face were on my TV. Listen to me. I know you're watching, John Lynch. I know you're watching, Kyle Shanahan. I know you're watching, Jed York. You order Jake Moody. You give him the biggest turkey leg. You give him the turkey leg that you would have given Fred Flintstone. And you make him eat that in the middle of their stadium. And you put the camera on him, and you sit there, and you make sure that they got to live in that. I want that more than anything in the world. So there's your football.
The last time I talked to you, it was Jake Moody. I do Jake Moody.
Oh, I hate him.
We're deeming him as the man who's gonna eat the turkey leg at the 50-yard line.
Jake Moody can have no kicks. Jake Moody can have no kicks, no point after attempts, nothing. He could do literally nothing. He is the one that you put in the middle of that stadium to eat that huge turkey leg, to remind them of what they did to us in the inaugural year of Levi Stadium. I have never forgotten about that. That is how you throw salt in the wound. That is how you become petty. Allow me, forget the boombox guy. Allow me to be your petty director, San Francisco 49ers, because I will absolutely put you in the right direction.
I'm sorry. I can't, dude. I can't. I just Jason Aponte, just anointing Jake Moody as the turkey leg guy.
Healthy scratch Jake Moody Thanksgiving MVP, right?
Just have him and Zane Gonzalez. Just have both on the roster for the Thanksgiving
number
game.
10, Zane Gonzalez, also, by the way. And don't think I'm not pulling up the training camp. Don't think I'm not pulling up the training camp with my Garoppolo jersey with Gonzalez taped over the name of it.
Oh my God! So much has happened today. I forgot that Zane Gonzalez got Jimmy Garoppolo's number.
We're off the rails. I'm sorry. We just haven't seen each other in a while, guys. We want to keep it fun. I'm sorry. If the NFL is going to make the schedule an event, then we might as well have this event while we're doing it.
We might need a commercial break because I can't breathe. Just Jimmy Garoppolo. I love Jimmy Garoppolo.
I love him too, but if you think that I'm not pulling up the training camp when I go to watch with that Jimmy Garoppolo jersey with the tape over that says Gonzalez, absolutely wrong.
Can we do the same? I'll wear the same thing. I'll match. If we go to camp on the same day, we'll both wear 10 with Gonzalez.
Yep. Just let me know.
Go one up. I'll go one up. I'll get the one with the Super Bowl patch.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, we back.
This is terrible.
Back.
This is terrible. Look,
we're done talking.
You got to be professional.
Okay, pull it back. Pull it back. Okay. The thing that stood out to me, they have a 3-game. The Niners have a 3-game homestand. Jesus, I'm trying. I just hear you I'm not even looking at you. I just hear you like trying to calm your breath.
I'm sorry. I'm calm.
Okay, we're good. This is great. The audio listeners are gonna have a great time with this part. Pull it back. The two things that jump out to me really quick is 3 consecutive home games at the very top, week 3 to week 5, but no 3 consecutive road games, which is pretty nifty. They have 3 separate 2-game homestands. And actually the Niners, that's interesting the way the schedule's set up. Actually, the Niners have a 3-game homestand, but no 2-game homestands. They have 3 2-game road trips, but no 2-game homestands. So they kind of they lose a lot of their home games in that one stretch. But the road trips aren't too bad. I mean, I guess the Seattle to Philadelphia one is probably a little rough, but that's also, we mentioned the 10 days in between. Week 1 to week 2, going from Pittsburgh to Los Angeles, that one's probably going to be a little rough. And Jason, there was a quote earlier today, and I'm going to try and find it. David Lombardi tweeted it, and all I heard was Jason Aponte's voice in my head. Is Kyle Shanahan on last night on 49ers Week 13 game at Philly. Quote, "I'm glad we're not playing Philly week 1. I want them to play at a better time. I want to make sure our whole team is right there. We feel like we didn't get to do that last time." And I think people took that as a conversation about the quarterback situation. To me, I heard Jason Aponte's head in the back of the voice in the back of my head about the Niners starting very slow in week 1s and week 2s. And the Niners starting 3-5 2 years ago, 4-5 last year, 3-4 last year. They're 2-4 in week 1s under Kyle Shanahan. The 2 wins have been the Buccaneers game where they didn't look great. Let's be honest,
Winston,
right?
Winston just threw more
Jameis Winston 3 interceptions. Yes,
he threw more pick sixes than Jimmy did.
Mm-hmm. And the Lions game where the Niners kind of dominated for 3 quarters, and then the Lions came through and made it interesting at the end. So I that's where I take that quote. I know I'm all over the place with the schedule. I'm just looking at it for the first time while we're talking about it, which is always the fun thing I do to myself. Yep. But the other thing I really like, and this is just like a dumb Andrew, I really like this, week 9 bye week, right in the middle of the season.
I like it
right
too.
Smack dab in the, because a couple of years ago, I think it was 19, they had like a week 5 bye week. That's too early. I don't like the later bye weeks. I like my bye week right in the middle. You have 8 games before. I guess you have 9 games after. Since it's a 17-game season, it used to be 8 and 8. But to have that pretty balanced is pretty nice in terms of, especially with the injury idea of it. It's not a slew of a lot of games and then a little games, or a little game and then a lot of game at the end of the season. It's pretty balanced. So those are the two things that really jumped out to me right at the top.
Well, I one of my initial articles ever on Niners Nation documented not only the 49ers starting slow, but Kyle Shanahan teams, whether he was the offensive coordinator and he obviously was never the head coach, but the offensive coordinator for certain teams. And I correlated all of that with what I'm saying about situation, quarterback, right? But the one thing that's always constant in week one with Kyle Shanahan teams, and it's across the entire time, slow starts on offense, penalties, sloppy play. That's something like, again, you mentioned the 2 games that they won. The Tampa game, which I was at, Jimmy Garoppolo throws a pick 6. Jameis throws 2. And that the offense was still trying to get it going, right? And the Lions game, things were looking fine. And then obviously sloppy play later on down there. So for me, it's about, I love when Kyle said that. That means that Kyle is at least a bit self-aware. And also another thing is, week 1 is the wonkiest week for everybody. For everybody, right? I mean, let's look at it like this. The Steelers beat the Bengals last year. The Steelers beat the Bills the year before. And what happened to them? So if the 49ers met the Philadelphia Eagles in week 1, that game doesn't tell you anything about where they are as a team. Week 13, you know where you're going. You know where they're going. And that's a far better barometer as to the team that you are, as opposed to week 1. Week 1, that's sexy to do that, right? Like, it's sexy. Get them right back in there. If Brock Purdy was ready to go rolling, then you know what? Make it week 1 and whatever. We'll speculate as we go forward. We don't know what's going to be happening. We don't know who's the quarterback. Everything's in flux. Let it be week 13. I really like that. And then, as Terradome mentioned, it's about 9 days after the Thanksgiving day. So they get a good amount of time to rest up and game plan. So I think it's the perfect time to do that. And I think going to Philly when it's cold, right? Like it was in the NFC Championship game. I think that's another thing that you want to do. If the 49ers are the team that they've shown themselves to be, completely physical, trying to dominate, then that's the right time to do that. So I love where this Philly game is based on those circumstances and based on the fact that you don't really know things. Give me 12 weeks of a sample size before we can figure out where teams are going, as opposed to week 1 when things are wonky and the worst team in the league can knock off, whatever. Leave it to week 1 on Thursday and watch the Lions put up like a really, really good game against the Chiefs. A very good game. I would still bet the Chiefs to win, but week 1 is the week where anything can happen. I think it's better that you kind of put it later on in the year so teams can get rolling, figure out their injury situations. You know more about those teams. So I like that Philly game right there. Week 5 feels right too for the Dallas game as well too. I'm good with that.
Here's something fun. I wanted to look at it because you're mentioning how the Niners have 10 days off before that Eagle game. Have you seen the Eagles schedule? From the Niners week 11,
Yes.
they have the Buccaneers and then the bye week against, or excuse me, not the bye week, the Thanksgiving game against the Seahawks. The Eagles at week 11, they're Monday night at Kansas City.
Yep.
Week 12, Sunday versus Buffalo.
The Bills. And then the Bengals, right?
Week 13 is the Niners, and then week 14 is at Dallas. So I don't know what that means yet, because obviously it's May. I can't tell you what these teams are going to look like in November, December. But to go from your bye week to just straight into Kansas City, straight against Buffalo, straight against the Niners, straight against Dallas, that's not an easy stretch. And if you look at the Niners stretch in that same time, it's Jacksonville week 10, Tampa Bay week 11, Seattle week 12, and then Philadelphia week 13, and then Seattle again week 14. So like just in that, if you isolate that little block, the Niners are going to have a little bit of a tougher an easier schedule going into that Eagles game, especially with the 10 days off, than the Eagles are having at Kansas City versus Buffalo and then a week before the Niner game. So I'm very interested to see what that's going to look like. I mean, that's obviously the game that a lot of people have circled on their calendar. I think the week 7 game could be very fun, the Monday night game against the Vikings. Just because of everything going on. If you think like, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but there's 1,000% a world that the Niners get off to a slow start. Lance doesn't look the part. Purdy comes back, doesn't look the part. Minnesota gets off to a slow start. They're looking to unload a quarterback. And who knows, maybe this is the last game, Kirk Cousins plays for Minnesota against the Niners and then a trade. I'm not saying that happens, but it's in that time frame, right? Of Niners, Kirk Cousins, Kyle Shanahan, that whole thing, the trade deadline within a week and a half of that game. That could be something to be fun, but obviously that's another like very specific time area that we have to find out, because the Niners could be 6-0 at that point. Niners could be 6-0 and Trey Lance could be an MVP candidate. And that's just not even a real conversation I just had. But hey, it's May. I could look at it like that because none of this is real until the games start being played.
All right, so let's do the useless exercise of predicting wins and losses without the 49ers having a starting quarterback that they know right away is going to be starting. Okay.
So we're doing the strategy where I'm just looking at the logo and saying, oh, that team stinks. I love it. Week 1. So everybody, Gammon, somebody in the comments, just write down these, tell us how wrong or right we are at the end of the season and see how good we were, because we're very bad. Jason, we're going to go through the games again. Week 1 at Pittsburgh, win or loss.
Win. It'll be ugly, but it's going to be a win. It's going to be ugly. That's going to be an ugly game, but I'll be there. So,
all right, I'm gonna go with a win, and I'll loosely keep track here. So, 1-0 for both for Andrew and Jason. Week 2, Rams. Come on. Niners in the regular season against the Rams.
Who's their quarterback?
Matt Stafford.
And 2-0.
2-0. Thursday night, home opener against the New York Football Giants.
3-0.
3-0. Okay, I have a feeling we have a lot of wins here. It's 3-0. Cardinals, week 4, home. 4-0. Let's be honest.
4-0.
4-0. Dallas, Sunday night, week 5.
5-0.
Okay, I'll play the game you're playing.
Nope. I'm gonna throw an L in there. That's not one of those games. They'll be ready for that game. I'm not yet.
Cleveland, week 6. We're both at 5-0 in Cleveland.
5-0.
6-0 then Cleveland. 6. You win against Cleveland, so 6-0. Week 7, Minnesota on the road.
7-0.
7-0. Okay, I'll go.
They gotta get them back for the 2018 game. They got to get them back for that.
I'm gonna go 6-1 just because I have no reason other than I'm just uncomfortable saying 7-0 without knowing who the quarterback is. I get weird. Week 8, Cincinnati at home.
That's your first loss of the season.
There's your first loss. I'll go win. I'll bounce back. I'm gonna go bounce back win at home against the Bengals. So we're both at 7-1. Bye week, they can't hurt us, so we're good. Week 10 against Jacksonville.
Yeah, the Niners.
No. That's a tough one. Off of a bye week. Oof, yeah, I'm gonna go 7-2. I need to start stacking losses because I'm more so like getting the record right instead of the games right. I'll go 7-2 at this point.
Nah, give me 8-1. Let's go full homer. I already said 20-0 on there, so 20-0.
I'll go 8-2 after the Tampa Bay game. They beat the Buccaneers.
Yes, they beat the Buccaneers.
I'm 8-2. You're at 9-1. Thursday night football, my birthday. I legally can't. Jake Moody at the 50-yard line. I legally can't say the Seahawks win this game. So I'm going to say, what is that? 9-2 now. Yep. Jason's at 10-1. The Eagles, Brock Purdy playing a full 60 minutes. That's a guaranteed Niner win. Deebo Samuel said as much. So I'm gonna go 10-2. I'm assuming you're going 11-1.
No, I got them beating the Eagles. Yep.
Okay, good. We're beating the Eagles. I'm sure Philadelphia fans won't highlight this clip. Week 14, home against Seattle. I'm gonna give Seattle 1. I'm not gonna give them my birthday one. So I'll give them this one. I got 10-3 after the second Seattle.
I'm going to give them this one too as well too. I mean, again, when you look at this, we're not going to like realistically when we come to how our record is going to look, it's going to shake out in a different way somehow.
Yeah.
You know, in my perfect world, the 49ers beat them every single time. But there are stumbles. It is the NFL. Sometimes things happen, whatever. It may not be this week, but you know, for argument's sake, yeah, I'm gonna put an L here too.
Perfect. So I'm 10-3. You're 11-2. 11-2, I believe.
Yep.
I'm gonna be 11-3 because they're beating Arizona. I'm not gonna use my logic.
Me too.
Of that. Monday night, I am on Christmas at home. I'm gonna go.
I don't like this one.
I'm gonna go Baltimore. This feels me
bad. Too. I don't like
that.
This
feels
one.
like a bad game.
That's a lump in your stocking. I don't like that game at all. I do not like that game.
So 11-4. You're 10-3 or math 12-3. There we go.
Yeah, 12-3.
A win against
and then
Washington.
Commanders and Rams. Dub and dub.
Oh, I'm gonna give them a loss against the Rams because the Niners are gonna have all their positioning sewn up at that point.
No.
But then I get
Jake Moody could start at quarterback against the Rams in Week 18, and it's a dub, man. Stop playing, man. Ain't no Rams.
Then I'll go loss against Commanders, win against Rams just to get to my 12.
No, the only reason you're going loss for the Commanders is because you like their song, left hand up, all that crap. No, get out of here. No way.
12-5. 12-5.
You've got a 12-5. I got them 11-4, right?
Well, 11-4. So you're 13-4.
13-4. 13-4.
Okay,
easy.
13-4. I got 12-5. This is great. Us just laughing at Jake Moody eating the turkey. Us just going through the schedule. This is great audio only podcasting. We love it. I don't know. I mean, that's really all. What else? What else stands out as we go through? So I'm 12-5. You're 13-4. Yeah. What else you got on the schedule?
Kyle Shanahan spoke a lot. Well, forget the schedule. You know, the schedule's done. Like you guys
got it. Done. We got it. We good. Okay.
Yeah, 13-4. Kyle Shanahan spoke yesterday at the Dwight Clark thing. Whatever that was. Shout out to Brad Graham, David Lombardi, Matt Mayoko, Matt Barrows, the guys who actually, were there and covered. Mm-hmm. Comments were made about the quarterback position, and we would be remiss in our duty to not speak about this, right? So he said Trey Lance's finger injury lingered further into the offseason of last year, and he's looked better than he ever has. They expect Brock Purdy at training camp. And then the one thing that kind of rubbed people the wrong way is we have three quarterbacks that are franchise-like type quarterbacks. Well, Andrew, let me address that one first. If you have three franchise-like quarterbacks, then you have zero. Yeah. So stop. Tired of the Sam Darnold shit. Can we stop, please? Let's just knock it off. Please knock it off. But it was good to hear that they're speaking well about Trey Lance. And also, Andrew, there's a lot to talk about, actually. Andrew, Ian Rappaport gave an opinion about what he thought about Sam Darnold. And then that opinion was met with a cease and desist from whatever Eddie DeBartolo way in Santa Clara, right? Like they sent them a cease and desist. Like, chill out. Stop playing with Trey Lance. This is some good stuff to talk about, right? Like at this point. I mean, look, Kyle spoke very well about Trey Lance. I understand that. Again, look, I want to reiterate my position one more time here. If Brock Purdy's healthy and ready to go, and he's what you think he is, he deserves to be quarterback one immediately. If it's not, then let Trey Lance and Darnold duke it out, and I'm good. Yeah. I know where I lie on this one because I know what one guy is because I've seen enough of him be terrible. Mm-hmm. And the other guy that we don't know, and I still have high hopes for. So I just think that, again, I'm tired of talking about it, but I'm not tired of talking about it with you because we haven't spoken as much. So I just want to get Andrew Pasquini's thoughts on the quarterback position.
The three franchise quarterback quote is objective.
I hate it.
One of the funniest.
It's one of the worst quotes I've ever heard in my life. I hate it.
Oh yeah, because no. It's a bad quote, but like I understand what he's trying. Like, because the Niners, I don't know. Stop me if you heard this before, Jason. The Niners are in this really weird position with their quarterback spot. I don't know if that's new to this franchise. Where they may or may not want to trade one of them. They may or may not want to keep one of them. And everything he said, and obviously you know who I'm talking about Trey Lance here, right? Is it can be construed as, oh yeah, he's hyping him up as QB1. This is the healthiest he's been. This is the best he's looked. Or is he pivoting that as he's looking really good. So if he loses the starting job, that just means Sam Darnold's also playing really good. So that shouldn't tank Trey Lance's trade stock, right? And that's where I'm kind of stuck on all this, because the fun thing with Kyle Shanahan is I don't know either way, because I am in the train of thought that Trey Lance is quarterback one in this moment. Obviously, in this moment, Brock Purdy is hurt. If Brock Purdy's healthy, he's QB1. No mincing words about it. I think what has been said at this point is very obvious. But as of this second, I think Trey Lance is quarterback one. Now, if what does that create when Brock Purdy comes back? I don't know, because I do believe the only way that Trey Lance is the starting quarterback when Brock Purdy's healthy is if the Niners are 4-5-0, and Trey Lance is for sure like an MVP candidate. I don't know if anything less than that gets him the starting job, because of this perceived comfort level that I have of what Kyle Shanahan thinks about Trey Lance, because I think it's pretty obvious just going off of the things that said. Kyle Shanahan has a preference at the quarterback position between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. So a lot of these words, they could mean things. A lot of these words can't mean things. I think I just said a lot of words to really get to that point of I don't know what any of it means at this point, man. But I do know that Trey Lance, it feels like he's quarterback one, but he's also the quarterback on the hot seat. And I think that's where a lot of these quotes are coming from, that Kyle Shanahan is either hedging his bets and being like, yeah, look how good Trey Lance looks. So then if Trey Lance is a hit, he can be the guy and say, I was always right. I knew it. I always saw it. But if it doesn't work out, then these quotes can be used when we're talking about the trade rumors of the Commanders. So a Commanders blog post can pull that Kyle Shanahan said this about Trey Lance to get their fan base excited. I said a lot of words to get nowhere, and I apologize about it. I am a podcaster, really good at this, I like to think. But yeah, man, when he said we have three franchise, I think adjacent quarterbacks or whatever he said, that's where he lost me a little bit, because I don't think you have one at this point, because Sam Darnold is not, Brock Purdy's not established, and Trey Lance is not established. And that's just the fact of the matter.
I'm going to give a boring answer.
Yeah.
This quarterback situation is going to be decided in between the lines at training camp.
Yep.
And Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and whoever's making the decisions aren't going to say, well, Ian Rappaport had an opinion about Sam Darnold. We got to play him. Oh, well, I said, or Matt Maiocco said, shout out to Matt Maiocco, though, like completely respect him, respectfully disagree with his assessment. It's not going to be decided on Twitter opinions. It's not going to be decided on anything other than what's going to happen in between those lines. So the discussions that we're having and hypotheticals fuel sports discussions.
Mm-hmm.
They fuel them, right?
Absolutely.
What if Michael Jordan played in this time? What if Bill Russell played in this time? What if Babe Ruth played against Shohei Ohtani? Like that is the crux of sports discussions. But I have the most boring answer about this. It will be decided on who plays the best, and they will make the decision based on that. That is super boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super generic. I'm not riding any fences. I have confidence in certain guys. Mm-hmm. But for anybody to come out here and say, I feel this way and this guy is going to do this, that's your opinion.
Yep.
You don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. Again, I'll reiterate my stance. If Brock Purdy's ready to go week one and they feel confident that he's the guy that they saw at the end of last year that won all those games, then by all means he deserves the shot, because he won all those games and they put up points that they never did. Right? Mm-hmm. If Trey Lance in camp blows everybody away and he looks like the guy that they moved up for 3, well, then they've got a decision on their hands and they'll make the decision accordingly. So this is a good discussion, because I feel like the last few days, in a row, you've kind of heard good things about Trey Lance. And again, it's OTAs. Everybody looks good in t-shirts and shorts, whatever it is, right?
Especially Jason Aponte.
Hey, relax, chill out. And BNA says, Dr. Disrespect, Sam Darnold. Dr. Disrespect has a cannon. So, did you guys know that Dr. Disrespect, before he was the two-time, and I competed in that same tournament and lost in the first round in that Blockbuster tournament. He won it twice. Two-time. He played college basketball. He's 6'7".
Oh yeah, no, he's an athletic.
The man is a unit. Man is a unit.
The money's in YouTube nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hear that, kids?
But yeah, right. But again, I have a boring answer when it comes to this. Everything's going to be decided in between the lines, and the hot hand, right?
Yeah.
Let me lay this hypothetical out for you, Andrew Pasquini. Since we're vibing, it's 40 minutes in. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live, and also subscribe to the Sprint Right Option podcast wherever you get your audio podcasts. Let me lay this hypothetical out to you, Andrew Pasquini. Trey Lance plays the first few weeks because they want to give Brock Purdy a little bit of time. And Trey Lance doesn't just look decent. Trey Lance doesn't look just okay. He's electric.
Yeah. And
he's running the ball, throwing the ball. The offense is operating. He's not playing in a monsoon. And then Brock Purdy's ready to go, but the team is already 4-0 going into the Dallas game, in which I think we can all say objectively, Brock Purdy struggled the most in that Dallas game out of any game that he ever played as a 49er.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do now, Kyle Shanahan, Mr. Hot Hand, Mr. He's playing well, Mr. You can't mess up a good thing when when it's going on, and Trey's, it's a reason we moved up to 3 to get Trey, what do you do, Kyle Shanahan, now if this team is rolling and you don't have a slow start, right? Like Trey Lance starts week 1, and there is no slow start. You go into Pittsburgh and you wash the Steelers.
Beat Kenny
What
Pickett.
do you do, Andrew Pasquini?
I think obviously it's going to be one of those things where you got to ride the hot hand. If Trey Lance is 4-0, and I think there's a difference, right? Because the Niners can be 4-0 not because of Trey Lance. We've seen it before, right? They've been successful almost in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo. It can be one of those things, but if they're 4-0 and Trey Lance is one of the 3 big reasons as to why they need to run with him. That's really what it is. And the ums get me every time.
I'm getting better at it, Raymond. I'm getting better.
He's getting way better with the pacing.
I'm not Steph on Nick Bosa level because like she's put that to a point where John Lynch and the team is completely aware of her, like right, like she's done it in a level. But I'm getting there. He's getting there. Maybe if I put one of those out. The thing is, I'm scared to put one of those TikToks out if I nail it. That Kyle's gonna be like, don't ever let that son of a bitch anywhere near the team. I hate him. I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to get access. I don't want that.
But no, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is, yes, it is going to be a tough decision, but I don't think it will be. I think if Trey Lance is that guy through 4 weeks, it has to be Trey Lance. And Jason, I know you said it's the boring answer, but it is the answer, right? You have these guys who are excited about Trey Lance. You have these guys who are excited about Brock Purdy. You have like a couple people who are excited for Sam Darnold, right?
This is interesting.
BNA's got a great point too. If they win and the Cowboys aren't getting their numbers, there will be a divide. That absolutely can be a thing too. Yes. But the thing is, it's May 11th, and I'm going to say this every day until we get to maybe August. It's May 11th. I don't think Kyle Shanahan knows who the starting quarterback is at this point. And let's be 1,000% honest. It's not this thing that it's some secret message. I don't think Kyle Shanahan is exactly happy he's in this situation, albeit it's a situation he's probably done more to put himself in than anything else.
Consequences of my own actions.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how I want to make sure I say that.
We're all trying to figure out who did this.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's what I want to make sure I say that because he's kind of at fault for this as well. Right. But I don't think this is because I think in a perfect world right now, Trey Lance is just the quarterback. Right. I guess in a perfect world, like Kirk Cousins has been the quarterback for 7 years now. But in a perfect world post Jimmy Garoppolo, it's you wish that you just didn't know Brock Purdy was Brock Purdy at this point, right?
Sidebar. Did you see Jimmy Garoppolo with his Raiders hat on? I mean, the man, you can't even, I can't even look him in the eyes. It's like the first time I heard the Beatles.
Hey, you think a man looks good in red and gold? Put him in black and silver.
Pause, Pasquini.
Man.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna miss that man. Just seeing the pictures that came out today, I'm just like, man, I'm just gonna miss looking at him.
I can't wait. I can't wait for him to win. Like I said, my prediction. This has been stamped before as the schedule comes out. I didn't even look at the Raiders schedule real quick. Like I'm gonna look at it real fast. But my prediction is that Jimmy Garoppolo goes out there and let's see, week 1, the Broncos. You are fried, Russell Wilson. You are fried. So
week 2, walking into Buffalo, beating Josh Allen.
Here's what's gonna happen. Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna walk in there to your stadium. He's going to win the game. He's going to throw for 3 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
And Raiders fans who have been slandering him all off season are be like, we got our guy. Here we go. I guarantee you that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to hoop in week 1, man. He is going to hoop.
Can I tell you an alternate reality, a alternate universe we live in? Maybe it could be this universe. Could you imagine if week 1 the Niners have a very slow start against the Steelers and the Steelers win like 17-10? It's a Kyle Shanahan offense. Week 1 slow start, and then week 3 on Sunday Night Football the Steelers go to Vegas and Jimmy Garoppolo hangs like 400 yards on them, and the Raiders beat them like 42-10. Niners Twitter would have an absolute field.
No. Hold on, Andrew Pasquini. I would like to offer this. I'll be at training camp. You'll be there, certain days. Andrew has an actual job. I'm a guy who needs to get a job, right? Like I need to get a job. But the joint practices are against the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, I did not know that. That's good to know.
You did not know that, huh? So I would say this.
Am I going to get in trouble for recording Jimmy Garoppolo on video again?
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't get in trouble.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. The Raiders don't have those restrictions. We can record the entire joint practice. Like, in fact, the Sprint Right Option podcast would be us giving you the entirety of joint practices, 11 on 11, everything going on live from YouTube from my phone. Like, I would literally, I can literally do that. But it's going to be electric to see Jimmy go up against a defense that he went up against so many times and knows him so well. And again, Devontae Adams against Charvarius Ward, you want to see things like that, right? Like that's going to be fun. But I feel like the best story is the joint practices, I think, more than anything this offseason when it comes to what could happen. Because if the 49ers light up Jimmy Garoppolo on defense, then everybody's just going to say, yeah, whatever it is. But what if Jimmy Garoppolo kind of lights them up in joint practices? Are you guys going to take that well?
I'm just trying to make our week 3 nightmarish, Jason, not August. I'm trying to push our nightmare back a little further. Rob Gotti, 49ers start slow every year. Don't judge them until week 6. They're a veteran team. Yeah, and that's kind of back to my point of people overreacting to this Kyle Shanahan quote. Like, yeah, I can see why people took that as a quarterback conversation, especially since he said we feel like we didn't get to do it the last time, and I'm ready to go back again. But yeah, this is a team that traditionally starts slow, and that's just it is what it is. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this is the year that changes. Rob, thank you again. What's up, fellas? Keep up the great work. We love you, each and every one of you. Hey, we got 114 of you guys here. We've had a good time. We're having fun. Just talking Niner. I don't know if we've been on trail this whole time. We opened with
I feel like me when I threw that Jake Moody Seattle thing out there, it just kind of derailed the show a little bit.
Hey, that's what I need.
For anybody who didn't.
Season, though.
No, exactly. And you know what else too, Andrew? You know what, man? I'm going to say it. Professionalism is professionalism. So many people take this shit so seriously that they've lost the thing that we did this for. We're supposed to be having fun.
Yeah.
And if I can't have fun with my friend talking about hypothetical games that haven't happened yet and laughing about a kicker who was drafted at pick whatever the hell, eating a turkey leg the size of this desk. Like, come on, man. Like, again, a lot of people like, look, you're passionate. I love that. And without you guys, we have no sort of show, anything like that. Like, again, like if I'm posting a Jair Brown interview, you guys are seeking that out because you're so passionate. But if I can't have fun with my friend, man, what the hell are we doing here? And I don't want to do this anymore, man. Like, this should never get to a point where it's not fun. So I'm always going to have fun with my friend. And I don't care, man. I feel like that's one of the best segments in Sprint Red Option podcast history. Easy.
Honestly, I think what we need to do is we need to just start the documentary series of the Jake Moody experience start the video with Jason walking away when he's the 99th pick. Work to this. Jason's Preds or prediction. I'm in such a hockey mind. I thought that was the Predators.
They're playing the Devils. How dare you?
That's why I got confused. But we're going to start with Jason walking out of the room when he's the 99th pick. We're going to show this clip of him talking about Jake Moody, and then it'll finish with us. Jake Moody, Super Bowl game-winning kick. Niners, quest for
let's go. I knew. I always and I can't wait to backtrack and be like, I knew it was the right pick. I always knew. Why you doubt it?
I would have taken him at 84, damn it.
Should have taken him at pick 1, baby.
Trade it up. Yeah. So that's just what it is, man. We like to have fun, and I hope it never changes. I hope that never changes, Jason Aponte. I don't know how we got here. You just want to talk more Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico because I'm here.
Well, no, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the Jair Brown thing because I feel it's
absolutely.
It's good for us to really talk about this. And Gammon says Jason has the 49ers going 14-3 with losses to Cincinnati, Seattle, Baltimore. Again, I just have them losing 3 games. I had to pick 3 teams, and I just threw that in there. Andrew has them going 12-5. Week 7, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Seattle, Baltimore, Washington.
It's really bad that he laid it out like that, and I have the Niners
now mine look even worse.
I have the Niners losing 3 of their last 5 games, limping into the playoffs.
This is the worst part, though. Thank you, Gammon, for the donation, by the way, too, man. Shout out to Mod Squad, man. You guys are holding down. Everybody's dipping out now because Locked On is live right now. So, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Jair Brown, me going to be able to cover his day in Trenton. So Jair Brown's from Trenton. I live in New Jersey, and I'm from New Jersey. Like I was raised here. Like, New York. My father's from the Bronx. I spent a lot of time in New York and everything as well too. I live close enough to New York where I can take a train ride, and it's literally 5 minutes, and I'm in the city. Like, I'm that close. But Trenton is the capital of New Jersey. It's the 5th largest city in New Jersey, and it's for lack of a better term, crime ridden. And unfortunately, Jair Brown's older brother, he lost him to he died, right? Like, I don't want to talk about the specifics or anything like that. But they had a day for Jair Brown, who went to Penn State. He started at Lackawanna College. And I was able to get down there, and it's about an hour and change drive for me. But I sent an email to the organizer saying, hey, I work for Niners Nation. Can I get a media pass? They said, yeah, you can be media. But if you want to interview with Jair Brown, you have to speak to his mother. And I said, that's fair, right? Like his mom he's still a young man, right? Like so I get there early enough. I speak to his mom and I say, hi, I'm Jason Aponte from Niners Nation. And I was the one who sent the email, and she said, hey, look, she was like, no problem. Jair has a meeting with the Niners at 5 Eastern. And the event was supposed to start at 5. So she said, money first, you know what it is. Like, we're good. Okay, cool. So he's in the meeting, gets to 6 o'clock, 6:30, finally comes out at 6:45. And the stadium, we're at his old high school, which his old high school, when he was there, Jair Brown, had 4 separate locations, 4, where he had to go from location to location to go to class. And football wasn't very big there. Whole stadium's packed. And he finally comes out and he speaks and he gets his awards, all that stuff. And they ask everyone who's in the stands to come down, and if they want to autograph, they want to talk to him, they want to get close to him, whatever it is, they all run down. So now in my mind, I understand. I've got to wait for all of this to subside because this is his day. And every day on May 8th now in Trenton, every single day from now on is Jair Brown Day. That's how important he is to this town. He's like taking pictures and signing autographs with everyone, and he literally knows everyone. Where's your cousin? Where's your brother? He's like, you're missing somebody. Like, he's like, what's up? He's like, hey, I'll catch up with you later. And he's standing there. Kids are coming. They're having him sign jerseys. Kids are, a lot of 49ers fans, by the way, too. Yeah. They travel well. A lot of 49ers fans. Either way, when it's done, his mother says, Jay, come over here. She's like, stand right here. She's like, Jair, go with him. Or Tig. I'm sorry, Tig. Nobody calls him Jair. That's Tig. Tig, go with him. That's where you see the interview on the YouTube channel. But the young man is just confident. His skill set. He talked about how much the 49ers wanted him there. He felt like his path is rooted in faith, is rooted in God has a plan. I'm not supposed to be biased just because, like I know a lot of people feel like that about, you and I, because we love Tart so much, because Tart gave us time and we were able to connect with him. I am rooting for this young man because of how confident he is, man. It's just a great story, man. And again, we have to hustle a little bit more, you and I, right, Andrew? Like, we have to hustle a little bit more, right? Like, we can't call the 49ers and say, hey, can we get availability with this player? But he was nice enough to give me some time, man. I'm rooting for this kid. I love what they did. It's obvious that they loved him. He said he felt like he meant to be there. He said all of the people that he spoke with were excited for him. He said, I'm literally leaving on Thursday to go to minicamp. The 49ers got a real good one in Jair Brown, man. And when you line him up, and all right, little tidbit, they want to use him closer to the line of scrimmage, possibly guarding tight ends that are a little bit bigger, but they want to use him as a blitzer, and they want to use him as a ball hawk, instinctual guy who can go get the ball. So him and Hufanga are going to be your starting safeties for a long time. The 49er fans probably should feel very good about that. They should feel real good about that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously for you to get that, I mean, it was pretty cool to see you get that opportunity, because my world of Jason Aponte starts with the Sprint Right Option podcast, and just to see you go from us talking in front of two people live to you being able to go to events like that, and like even just seeing you at the combine, you at the draft, and all that stuff. To see you be able to go, the Niners' most recent, most exciting player, he's the guy they drafted first. See Jason Aponte on the front lines getting that interview and just being able to talk to him is it's very good. It's very cool. It's very exciting. I'm very glad you got that opportunity, and I'm very excited to see what Jair Brown does. He seems like, outside of I see, this is how fast information goes out of my brain. Freeland was the other guy the Niners were drafting all the time. Blake Freeland, he was the guy mock draft. It was Jair Brown and Blake Freeland. The Niners obviously get Jair Brown. So I'm very excited to see what he can offer, and everything that you've told me about him and everything I've read that you said feels like a really good pick from the 49ers. So I'm very, very excited about it.
I am too, man. And again, I don't want to be biased, but I'm rooting for the kid. Yeah. But he's a very humble young man. If you haven't seen the interview, it's on the YouTube channel. You can check it out there. If you haven't read the article, it's on Niners Nation. And shout out to Tig, man. We're rooting for you, bro. And I fumbled the bag a little bit because I wanted to ask a snarky, like, kind of funny question. Like, you wore 16 at Penn State. There's this guy who's like a mid-level quarterback with the 49ers who wore 16. Is that like, are you going to take that? I wanted to see if he would imagine. He'd be like, yeah, 16 is mine. I'd be like,
16 says, yeah.
I'm like, go get it. It's yours.
Go get it. Yeah, it's yours. It's yours. It's yours. It's yours. We like it. Hey, Zero's still available, by the way, if he wants that.
It is, right? Diamador Norris 2 now.
Nobody took Zero yet. Yeah, wow. that was the other news. Diamador Lenore's 2 and Zane Gonzalez is 10. So
10, baby. Ride me 10. Yeah. Pause, Queenie.
Pause, Sweeney. I love it. Yeah, man. I guess that's it. That's a Sprint Right Option podcast. That's how we do it here. If this was your first episode, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little out there, but hey, it's May. We still have, we're 4 months away, man. 4 months. Yeah.
We're getting close.
Are we closer? No, we're not. We're not closer to kickoff than we are the NFC Championship game yet. So no, we're almost there though. We're almost halfway there. We're getting there, guys. So this is the last Sprint Right Option podcast for a couple of weeks. I will be out of the country.
Look at this man flexing. I'm gonna do Sprint Right Option podcast against with an empty chair. Like, I'm gonna put another camera somewhere else.
I'll leave my computer on, and you can just
just turn it on, and just be like, "What do you think, Andrew? Great analysis."
So I won't be here, Jason. I'm sure you're gonna have some great content here on your YouTube channel, on Niners Nation as well. I'm gonna check out Forget the 49ers Exist for about 2 weeks, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
Good for you.
Go
I'm envious.
do some things in the Philippines. Go mess around there. Go be a goblin, as the kids would say.
Wow.
Just gonna have a good time out there. I don't know where that came from, but hey,
Wow.
is what it is. I don't know, man. Jason Aponte, I love you as always.
Bad Bunny's the best wrestler in WWE history, and let's go
Yes.
Niners.
Let's go Niners. Have a great night, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's